Israeli leaders met in Riyadh on Friday. They are crafting a plan for Gaza's post-conflict reconstruction. Now, the state news agency, SPA in Saudi Arabia, in a statement has described this meeting as an informal brotherly gathering. According to the SPA, this meeting included consultations on various regional and international issues, with a focus on joint efforts to support the Palestinian cause and address developments in the Gaza Strip. It added that the leaders welcomed the Emergency Arab Summit, which is scheduled in Cairo on March 4, 2025, after which the first phase of Egypt's reconstruction plan is expected, in fact, to begin should the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas hold. My colleague Amit Mukherjee has been following the story and he joins me now from New Delhi. Amit, what can we read into, this informal brotherly gathering of Arab leaders in Riyadh?
Well, Mark, as of now, as far as the details of this gathering is concerned, I mean, nobody is coming out and speaking clearly about it. Now, one thing is that the Arab world is completely united as far as opposing Trump is concerned over his proposal to take over Gaza. But, there is disagreement between them also. There's disagreement between the Arab world as to how would the takeover of Gaza happen, who is going to fund it, who would control Gaza over the period of reconstruction. So all these things are yet to be kind of spelt out clearly. So as of now, even when contacted, after last evening's meeting, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, who is the president of the United Arab Emirates, he was contacted as to how did the meeting go. But his response was very, very vague. He said the meeting was absolutely great, but he's declined to spell out the details of as to what exactly transpired in that meeting.
Right.
So the disagreement as far as who's going to fund the rehabilitation and reconstruction of Gaza, who's going to control Gaza over the period of reconstruction, all these things are yet to be spelled out. On the other hand, if you look at US, they are going ahead with their plans. They have been in constant engagement with Egypt and Jordan, who would play a very, very important role as far as US's plan to take over and reconstruct Gaza is concerned. So as of now, if you look at the two sides, if you look at the Arab side, they are still unclear as to how things they would want the things to work out in Gaza. But on the other hand, US is going ahead full steam with its plan. Trump is on and off, he's repeating his stance as to he wants to take over Gaza and reconstruct it. Yes.
Yes, Amit, but if you have to read between the lines, the ceasefire is still holding. But clearly, the Israelis are releasing many prisoners in exchange for the hostages in Hamas custody. There are about 600 prisoners for 6 hostages. So how does this change the situation in Gaza?
Yes, in fact, Mark, although the situation is very fragile after the mixing up of the bodies, which happened, 2 days back, where Israel is construing the whole incident as a non-adherence of the ceasefire agreement by Hamas. But still, Hamas is going to go ahead with the release of 6 hostages but they expect also 602 to be precise. 602 Palestinian prisoners will be released by Israel following the release of the Israeli hostages. Now, again, if you look at what had happened over the last 3-4 days, again, the bombing which happened in Tel Aviv, 3 buses exploded. Again, Netanyahu has ordered an operation against the terror hotspots, which of course he was referring to Gaza. Certain pockets where the Israelis believe that these are places from where Hamas is still operating against Israel. So he has ordered that, and at the same time, seems that Hamas has been making itself very clear. In fact, a few days back, it also said in the next level, in the next stage of the ceasefire, if it continues, it's going to release all the hostages which are being held them captive in Gaza right now.
Also, Amit, Rubio has called Hamas pure evil. He wants it to be eradicated. The UAE has told him that the US's displacement plan in Gaza is unacceptable. So that's out of the question as far as the Arab leaders are concerned, even though they may not be stating it clearly. How is this going to play out? What are the expectations? Because there's this big Arab League meeting that's going to happen on the 4th.
That's right, Mark. But if you look at again yesterday's meeting, nothing really has come out from it. In fact, even if it has not been spelled out to the world. On the other hand, US has constantly been engaging with Jordan as well as Egypt. I mean, King Abdullah of Jordan also had a meeting on 11th Feb with American authorities as far as this whole Gaza plan is concerned from the American point of view. So America is kind of moving ahead with its plan, and right at the beginning, Trump was very, very clear that Jordan and Egypt is going to play an important role. The leaders are magnificent. They are very magnanimous. They're going to offer something to the Palestinians who will be displaced to their territories once the reconstruction plan is kind of worked out. Again, Egypt has also said, there would be a three-stage redevelopment plan of Gaza. One would be moving in heavy machineries to kind of clear up the devastation that has happened over the last 1 year in Gaza. And second stage would be urban planning, how the whole Gaza seems to, the pattern of new Gaza would look like. And third would be actually deploying that urban development plan. But on the other side, again, if you look at the Arab world, they are still confused as to how they want to go about it. The questions about who's going to control Gaza, what should be the funding pattern, how should it work out, all those things those are at a very nascent stage. First, they have to reach an agreement. Of course, they are united against Trump's proposal, but they have to also spell out what their intentions are and how they want to go about as far as redeveloping Gaza is concerned. Mark?
Amit Mukherjee from New Delhi, thank you very much for joining us.